Hello everyone, welcome to our channel, Doom Productions. We make feature films and videos about films and filmmaking. And today we're talking about film school, which is a really important subject to discuss if you're considering going into the field of filmmaking. So Ethan, what's your background with film school?
Yeah, I technically didn't go to film school. I did classes at a community college that were in film studies, and the most close to film production I got into was I did an acting class where I worked alongside the film department. But I did that more out of a sense of wanting to become a better director by acting. So I kind of knew what worked and what didn't work for me, but also just wanted to have some fun acting. But I don't have a film degree, don't have any of that. But you did go to film school.
I went to film school. Similar to you, I started out at General Community College. Then I transferred over to PSU, Portland State University, where I studied at the School of Film there. And I had the whole experience. I did the film studies, I got some hands-on production experience, I learned editing, I learned about, all the kind of things that you expect to learn at film school. I got the whole experience.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting being able to sit down and talk about it now after film school and have this opportunity to share what I've learned from inside of film school and what you've kind of learned from kind of peripheral classes, but still like, if you didn't know, he was my partner for all of my film.
I stole my film school education.
Exactly. So what happened was I was enrolled in film school, and rather than work with the classmates that I had a lot of the time I would just work with you on my projects, and we kind of formed our own little team. That's how we got started.
Your professors were very cool letting us do that.
They
let me sit in on classes sometimes.
They were. It was fun. So you have bootleg film school.
I have bootleg
He
film
got
school.
the same thing, just he didn't.
A lot cheaper, and I don't have student loans at the end of the day.
Sucks for me. Anyways, we wanted to take today to talk about a couple things. First off, we want to talk about the preconceptions about film school, about going into it. It's a huge financial decision, and you got to weigh a couple of different things. First off, I think the most important thing is what am I going to get out of this? What's the most important thing to focus on?
Yeah.
Ethan, what do people think is the most important thing about film school? What do they think they're getting the most out of when they go?
I mean, when I think of going into film school and kind of what I was looking for when I was considering that option was the very practical on-set experience. You're learning how to work on a crew. You're learning how to make a real movie, because chances are if you're going into film school, the Hollywood is calling your name and that's where you want to be. So you're trying to learn how to do things the right way, how to make a movie, be on a set, how to work with a crew, have a team, but also just the steps of how to write a movie, how to edit. So you're kind of getting those foundational skills cemented from a place that's what they do. They're the pros at it. So.
And that's very true. When I went to film school, when they ran our production classes, that's how they taught you how to make a movie. They taught you to have an entire crew. They taught you to have a DP, an assistant director, a producer or a first AD, depending on what the name is, someone who's running kind of the time management. They taught you to have grips and lighting crew and a sound person and actors, and mark up your sets with tape and make sure you're getting your lighting and all that, and room tone and all that. They taught you how to run things like a professional, which is great. You got a lot of experience out of that. And I know how to work on an indie film crew to a certain extent, which is a really cool thing and a really valuable thing to take away from film school. However, I think you and I, while we had separate experiences on this kind of area, I think we can both agree that technical knowledge isn't as important as something else.
Yeah.
There's something else that I didn't take into account.
Neither of us did.
Neither of us did when I was in film school. It's something that no one thinks about, and it's not just true for film school, but it's true for all walks of life. This is the most important thing that you should be doing while you're in film school. And what is that?
Yeah, you should be getting to know the people you're working with. Some people call it networking. It's a very, very fancy term. It feels very businessy, but at the end of the day, you are just getting to know the people who are working in this profession alongside you, who are learning alongside you. This just means volunteering to help out on other people's projects, just asking them what their interests are, anything to just build relationships with other filmmakers around you, because those are the people that you're going to be asking the day before your shoot when something goes wrong to help you out probably. And those are the relationships that are gonna help grow you to make you a better filmmaker. So to not take advantage of that, we found out really quickly once we left film school how kind of stranded on the island we were, totally on our own, which had some good things to it, and we learned a lot. But also there were a lot of times where we wished we had other people.
And it's not just relationships that'll save you down the road on last minute shoots.
Yeah.
It's something that, you know, these are your peers, these are your fellow filmmakers who want to do the same thing as you. They're there to learn just like you are, and you can lift each other up.
Yeah.
And maybe you develop, you know, a partnership with some of these people, or maybe you develop a team with some of these people. Kind of the bummer for us when we were in film school is we just kind of stuck to our friend group. We didn't grow so much outside of that. And so we didn't have, you know, we worked with the people who worked on our movie were our friends first and foremost, but there were friends that I had from film school, or colleagues I had in film school, who their focus was sound design. And boy, it would have been great to have some of those people on some of our film sets. You know, having a friend who specializes in sound design, or having a friend who specializes in, oh, I love being a producer and reaching out to businesses and doing all the producers kind of stuff. That would have been a great person to have. And this sounds a little bit like manipulative, like make friends with all these people, but to a certain extent it's true. And it's nice to have friends who are really skilled in your field of work, people you can rely on, people you can call on. And when we left film school, or I guess I left film school, I realized, like, oh my gosh, I didn't spend a whole lot of time networking. So it's kind of a bummer that I don't have as big a network as I probably should, and something that we would really benefit from. So after film school, we kind of were right back to square zero where we were after film school. I didn't necessarily know where to look for work. I didn't necessarily know where to, you know, who to call for help or whatever. I had a small network, but it's one of those things that they don't teach you how to network in film school. And it's something that I really wish that, you know, all film students knew going in, that the most important thing you do in film school isn't making movies.
Yeah.
The most important thing you're going to be doing in film school is networking. And, you know, film education, of course. Yeah. Education is amazing. It's fantastic. It's always good. But the most important, if you're going to be spending all that money going to school, network. Network all you can. And, you know, just try to grow a nice community of friends that you can have where you all can support each other and watch each other's movies and work on each other's movies to help make each other better filmmakers as well. I think that's a really valuable thing that people take for granted in film school.
Yeah.
I think part of it's the competitiveness. Part of it can be everybody's a little scared. I know I certainly was. But what are some other tips that you have for anyone entering film school right now?
Man, I think some of the classes that I benefited from the most and wish I took more of in hindsight were some of the film studies courses, where you kind of break down what made great movies great. Because I think that stuff, once you kind of get a grasp of film, like analyzing film, that kind of is thing that carries so much further. I feel like you can learn on your own some of the like technical stuff, but having a setting where someone's teaching you and walking you through like film analysis and breaking down great directors, I think that's something that's huge. So that's something I think more filmmakers just need to eat up.
Yeah,
I wish I did.
I'd agree with that. I would say for both of us, if you're going into film school and you already know how to use your camera, you know how to use microphones and know how to edit and all that, and if you've been doing that for a long time, don't focus on film production because you're not going to learn anything. There's only so much you can learn in film production.
Yeah.
You can learn how the independent crew works, you can learn how more professional gear and a more expensive gear works, but at the end of the day, you can only learn so much from, you know, the gear's point of view. What I'd really highlight instead is focus on the film studies, like you said, and focus on networking, of course.
Yeah.
If you already know how to do all the technical stuff, focus on networking and film studies. If you don't know anything about technical resources, why not start right now? There's lots of resources for you to watch on YouTube. You don't have to wait till film school to go. Film school, you know, again, it'll teach you some things, but the most valuable things you learn are the networking and all the film study stuff. So get a head start on the technical side of things so that way you can focus on what's important in film school. Follow channels like Film Riot, Indie Mogul, Darius Britt, Doom Productions, our stuff. Give us a like and subscribe. Give us a follow. Let us know your experiences with film school. Let us know if you have any tips or advice for anyone going into the higher education for film production, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching, everyone. If you didn't notice, Ethan and I are wearing some new Doomed Productions shirts. That's right, we have an official merch shop now. If you're interested in supporting us further, you can check out some awesome t-shirts, mugs, posters, sweatshirts down there. The link is in the description. Please check it out if you're interested in supporting us further. Thank you, everyone, for watching.